Hello everyone and welcome to my stream. My name is Doom and today I want to present you a House of Atonement plus 16 key with a decent group. By the way, I'm sorry for the low quality, it might be a little bit weird to watch. I'm gonna promise you next videos will be better. I just forgot on the recorder to put it up on a scale for my widescreen, that's why it might be a little bit unsharpened on some positions. Anyways, I hope you can see everything you have to see. I will make some tips and tricks, some notes while you just watch the video. If you just want to watch the video without my voice, just go mute me and go blast some music and enjoy the show. So, for the first pull, we just went the normal way to the left side. We left the Houndmaster and just pulled him into the first group. Meanwhile, we were staying on the first of the three big ones on the left side, and yeah, you see already I posted also a macro, by the way, a focus target macro that is just like simple a macro with /yell and with the right marks in between. I will just show you the macro downside of this video in the comments, so you can either copy and paste it. You can do it, by the way, of course, for every of the markers for the kicks. It might help in per groups to just improve your gameplay and to maybe do better in stuns and kicks. Yeah, here so we just started with the key, just really straight on normal, nothing special. With Bloodlust, all CDs, some defensives. Now we just grabbed in the Houndmaster. As mentioned before, going to focus the shard whenever you can, but don't forget to kick your targets. Mine is already done, but now anyways I just went back to the target on the triangle one to just kick. Nothing too special in here. Here I'm still using my Critical Lightning, by the way, with 20 stacks. Yeah, here we just dropped really low. Also just popped my health potion, I think on this one or a little bit earlier already. Just make sure to survive it, just to get out and play safe. By the way, time is pretty okay, you don't have to be worried too much about it. You should just play safe. Do not risk it for the biscuit, because it's really not worth it. Time as this key is really okay if you have a good comp and you have enough damage as well on this one. Here by the one on the right side you can see also my radio add-on. It's really helpful to see, just to compare it with other key levels you have already completed before, so you can see how good you are at it and if you are good in the timers or not. If maybe we'll make a video just to go a little bit deeper how to make it, or to set up the options to let it work quite well. Sometimes it doesn't work even if you have set up all the stuff, but mostly, or at least this one, it does work. I'm just using another weak goer as well that you can see on the right side with the timer. But yeah, here on the next trash pack, just also going to blast fully with my cooldowns. No need to save them. I mean, 130 is not that big of cooldowns on Windwalker, so we should always just spend them for all the packs you get, just to make sure those packs are dying fast. Here also just using Critical Lightning as well. Moving on to the next pack. Make sure to kick targets, here again on Star Marker, but only got kicked anyway. So for myself, by the way, I still stack, as you can see on the Obliterator. Of course I want to focus normally the shard, but I recommend just at least to focus the Obliterator to just look a little bit more down, and then you just go to switch to a shard that at least you do not forget to kick and you are still being able to blast this boss mini boss on this difficulty anyway, so it's just really important to do kicks. I think damage optimization by funneling damage, or just by target focusing the right one. The shards to min-max is, I think, more important for higher keys, but unless you on 16 key, just play it super safe to just not forgetting to kick something in this one. So yeah. At the shard, we just going back into the middle where the first boss will be, just to do the next trash pack. Trash packs are really kinda anyways, I think it's one of the easier trash packs concerning the dungeons. Yeah. Here, by the way, I saved my Crackling Gaudy Lightning stacks 20 because I knew that I will have my full cities back in 20 seconds, so I did not use them in this one because it wouldn't have been worth it, I think. Even the way I fucked up, I think, in movement while I used Gaudy Crackling. I did also just some bad mistakes, but just small DPS mistakes at least. No big one on this one, at least on this position, but there will be some mistakes gonna happen as well by my side, so yeah. But here again, nothing special, really not that much to kick, as you can see, just two target kicks with just orange and the Houndmaster. That was on yellow, was what was my part, already been dead, so yeah. Mentioned before, the trash in here is really not the big problem. So a bit better target priority would have been helpful, but yeah. The key is kinda easy on the time, so just make sure to not miss too much kicks on this one. By the way, I have seen some questions about like when do I use my second one from Xuen, Storm, Earth and Fire, I mean. Sometimes, yeah, it's really depends on the situation. If you have a big pack and you have still one Storm, Earth and Fire ready, or like now stacked too much anyways because they were on 2 stacks, and you can just collect 2 stacks of Storm, Earth and Fire, so just pop it even if Xuen is not ready. Yeah, doesn't matter, especially if you have 2 stacks, you just can use Xuen right after with the second stack of Storm, Earth and Fire. Like I think I'm using for this pack as well. Yeah, I do, with the trinket as well. Even if the pack is nearly dead, maybe it would have been better to just hold it for a shard to min-max DPS here as well. But as mentioned before, you have just really slow cooldown with 1 minute 30, so it's not that big of a deal if you just go and pop the CTs, because if you see how you can see, yeah, the cooldowns are nearly back again. So 15 seconds for Storm, Earth and Fire, 1 minute for Xuen, so you would have lost around 30 seconds uptime if you would have spent it for this pack. So I think that mostly if you have still something to kill and your cooldowns are ready, just press them, not hold them too long for any reason. Just here focus a shard. Here I did it a bit better than on the other one, but it's also just because here is just one mob that has to be kicked. That's why there is it's easier to just focus the major target. Anyways, I just did tap because I wanted to just make sure to kick the collector. But yeah. By the way, one simple thing I wanna please every one of you. If you are not only meta, anyways, give also Windwalkers, give everyone a chance, please, to make sure that also no meta classes have the chance to blast keys, especially I'd say lower keys. Question mark. I mean, 60 is not that low, but yeah, it's you can see it's definitely easy and doable. It's yeah, kind of fist comp. We're just missing the druid buff to make the fist comp complete on this one. But yeah, it is a really good fist comp. We have a good DK who is popping a lot of damage in this group. So, but anyways, just a small mention that it does not only matter to be meta, it does matter to have good players. Alright then, here as well, nothing special. Just go focus down the Houndsmasters so that he can chain pull to the next one. So this one has to die quicker. The Gargan are kinda anyways. They may kill your tank, yeah, if he is not playing quite well. But on this one he did really a good job. The tank was insane strong, I think. Healer as well. But anyway, it was really a good group in total, so here just don't forget to kick, don't stand in the AoE. And here is important just to mention that you have to be careful with the rotation thing. You're gonna see in a couple of seconds, like now. This one can switch, yeah? It means it can go in the other direction, while it is running in one direction, can just turn around in the other one. Yeah, that's sometimes if you just pad and you just watch about your CDs, it can go horribly wrong and you may die. This is going to kill you instantly, I think. Also, like the AoE circles, just make sure to dodge them. Especially if you're a tank, you should be aware about how many of those pillars are still gonna come. You see my times on the left side. As tanks especially, you should be careful about those, because you have to care about the space. Like now coming the beams in 2 seconds, he's popping the boss around in the corner to just give us more space. He did it really in a good way. There was like nearly no problem with space at all, so yeah, pretty clean gameplay, I think. As Windwalker, you don't have to be too careful about anything here. Just go the normal rotation. By the way, if you're just on the rotation now, I can say some words because the boss mechanics anyways. Of course, the most important thing is just to use your pots, your Storm, Earth and Fire in Xuen. With the trinket in once. I have also a macro for that one, by the way. I will post it down in the video. Just use it with your trinket that you're using. You can just copy the potions, by the way. The ones with fleeting, so just the ones that are the ones you're gonna craft or you're gonna get by the raid, by the way. Yeah, that's just the one I would always use first, of course. And so you make sure that those are just vanishing anyway, so you cannot save them because they're gonna I think going to vanish after like 30 minutes or so after you logged out. So just use them first for any chance. By the way, just to go back fast on the beams here, so you can see that the beam did change, like just small roll back to show you what I meant before. With the beam, so you have to be careful, especially as a caster. If you just stand still and the beam, you think the beam is far away from you, the beam can change and can kill you horribly bad. Like we watch here, beam to the left, and bam, beam to the right. Yeah. All right, next pack. Just it. Move a little bit forward. Here we're going to use the Bloodlust, by the way. Yeah, big pull with Bloodlust, focus the obliterator with the kicks. Make sure to use all your CDs. I fucked up my CDs on this one, to be fair. Also Xuen wasn't ready, or was a bit too late ready. So no perfect timers for me on this one. But anyways, now I got my cooldowns, use my trinket, normal rotation, Fist of Fury into Whirling Dragon Punch if you can use it. Sometimes with a lot of haste it can be horrible to just use it mid-while or in the gaps where just rising something, and with the Furies or cooldown, sometimes a little bit annoying. Here, by the way, the tank made also a very good job. He just pulled the next one after the obliterator did die, because again, just one caster, pretty easy, just to not stand in the big circles, because those, like you see now, going to one-shot you, yeah? So just make sure, especially here as a ranged caster, to just kick the obliterator, because sometimes as melee it could be really hard to kick those. And also as tank, you can already watch here to the timers upside or the gargoyles on the stairs, because sometimes it can cost you like 30 seconds if you move too late. And you can of course move the Reaver upside the stairs as well. So if you see, okay, good timing now, you can run already now, it would have been reliable. But on our side you see, perfect timing, Reaver is nearly dead, and the left gargoyle has been turned to stone, so slasher, this one. So yeah, perfect timers in here, I think. By the way, you can see already from the timers already here, we are nearly as fast as the other one. That's 15 key, just like 20 seconds behind now. But here the K, I don't know why he didn't run with us. I don't know if he died, I don't think so. No, we can't be dead because we haven't even one death from now, so I don't know why he waited there, and maybe a disconnect or whatever. Yeah, gonna happen, I guess. So in this one, very important I think is to save your crackling eye lightning. You've seen I had already 20 stacks happen for a long time. Here I'm gonna recommend just use them at the trash packs. Yeah, go out of the circles, do not get extra damage in this one, just stay safe. Normal rotation. It's not a save here, by the way, your second usage of Storm, Earth and Fire for the next trash pack. But it's not that necessary. Yeah? It's just important, or I'll just give you a tip, to always use your crackling lightning for the ad packs whenever they're going to spawn. Yeah? Just let them come a little bit more near. Like now you're gonna have 20 stacks. I'm not using them. Also I have my second window now for Storm, Earth and Fire. Now I'm using them. Here I died, by the way, badly in the AoE circle, if you have seen it. Yeah, that was mentioned before. Sometimes you have just like your vision for bursting, and yeah, not that big of a deal. I just use my CPs anyways, so not that big of a loss. By the way, here I did split Xuen and Storm, Earth and Fire on purpose. I just wanted to make sure to really have enough damage on each of those ad phases. Of course you can just make it as well different. You can just go and use Storm, Earth and Fire with Xuen if you have enough AoE damage happen. On this one I thought, okay, I just go safe. I saw the time is fine, so no need to pad for a little bit more boss damage, because of course, yeah, Storm, Earth and Fire with Xuen is a better DPS gain, but I thought it wouldn't be necessary. Next ads are coming, 20 stacks, Crackling Eye Lightning. Also make sure to stun the ads, by the way, here. A little bit late stun from our Shaman, I think. Told him could have been used a little bit earlier, but yeah. You see here as well, I should have used, I think, Diffuse Magic would have been better, because I nearly died as well here. On higher keys it might repair without any CD, so make sure to use here the 40 AoE stuff, always a small death CD. Heal did a great job here as well. also had a very strong hunter. He made a lot of damage in this keys, so did really good. He would just stay outside. I never understand why tanks just always want to pull him outside, but yeah, okay. Just make sure to click the Hound's Masters here. Watch the Reaver with the AoE circle again. Fully blast and CDs. Here's the AoE circle again. By the way, this key was played 1 week before, so before reset, so my gear score was around, I think, let me lie, 615 or 640, 614 or so. So a little bit lower. But yeah, I could have also made a lot of more damage if I wouldn't have made some mistakes in here as well. Especially with that info, you should just really be aware about like the roughest tank, and also just like about the kicks as well. As melee healers, everyone just has to help with the kicks as well. Really important because time on these keys are not that hard on a 16 so far. Here, by the way, really important message from the tank. Of course, he can spell reflect, he's a warrior, so you should really make sure to not kick bosses that are just casting stuff to the tank, yeah? So, because like in this key, also in prior with the last boss, I think, as well, are just kicks that being focused by a tank, so normally tank is not dying by those casts, so just leave them through. That the tank can just spell reflect them and make tons of damage, even more to the boss. Really important on this one. Here, by the way, you can always use also Cracking Lightning as a filler, even if you have no 20 stacks. It's okay. Even better to use it in a window with the Storm, Earth and Fire and Invoke Xuen, of course. But yeah, if you don't be comfortable by running away from the haunting shadows, just use it with 20 stacks. Just important to survive here. And don't forget, if you're a warrior, hot warrior, do not kick. By the way, I will also make more videos about other stuff like how to sim yourself in the best, and maybe more tips and tricks for other keys as well. Also just more things like where you can get the best info, where you can see your base gear, what may help you to improve the Windwalker. So hope you liked the video, and I hope you're going to stay for more. Here, by the way, just blast the mechanics, the circles, just get out of the circles ASAP, do not pick the boss if you have a prot warrior. Otherwise, just click normally whenever you can. Mind the big AoE circles as well, and just go with the parishioner to those small lanterns to just get rid of those ads. That's literally everything. You have just to be worried. Just always stay behind those lanterns if you are ranged. As melee, you just have to walk with them. There's no way out of this one. By the way, we did not use Bloodlust for this boss here, really important, because we want to cheese the next ad. That means you just save Bloodlust normally always for the next ad. So just make sure to play this boss without just any waste this boss. This boss makes nothing, just a few small mechanics, and it's not a big deal on damage or a big deal on heal, so using Bloodlust on here would be without any sense. If you wanna really keep Bloodlust, keep it for the end boss, but not keep it for this boss, because this boss is really easy. Last boss can just be a bit wonky as well. If you wanna save it and not use it on Sega, just use it on the last boss and use it while the intermission, because this is sometimes really hairy, especially as with healers stuff. I mean, as a Windwalker, I'm quite tanky, so I can survive it anyways, even if the healer is a little bit low. But yeah, if you have Druids, for example, I think Druid's not the best boss, not the best healer for the last boss, so you might can do it also just to save Bloodlust for the last boss. And as mentioned before, you can see we're now like 7 minutes left on this Mythic Plus key, and yeah, the time is quite fine. Yeah, we had barely no deaths, just 2 in this key, so 30 seconds penalty for 2 deaths. And anyways, we have enough time because the last boss will take around, I think, 3:30, maybe 4 minutes maximum. I think we had like 2 minutes left if I'm not wrong, but we will see in a couple of minutes. Unlucky that Stiga didn't die before he casted the last spell again. Would have been dead, I think, now with the more gear I have now in this week on 16, but yeah, it's anyways. Here, by the way, it got a bit scary. Yeah, we nearly died here. I may should have used my. So here you see we dropped really low. I used my Ring of Peace just to save us that those manifestation ads weren't reaching us. And yeah, it's also good here, by the way, to cleave down from the boss with those ads to just have a little bit more damage. Also for the Cursed Idol trinket, it is really good because you know, you're getting around, I think, 600 on max iron level on this trinket, more critical strike per enemy hit. So of course it also counts for the manifestation. That is the point why it's important, or why it's not bad when you are just grabbing those ads into the boss if you have those trinkets, because I think many of you, or at least some of you, may try to farm the trinket. It's really strong in AoE conditions, especially on 3 to 5 targets in full or only in boss fights, and purely boss fights. Single target it is not that good, but still decent, by the way. Especially on Mythic. So if you got a trinket, here you go, especially for Mythic Plus, it's really good. Yeah, to the boss, just you see the mechanics, just small explanation. You see 4 statues, those 4 statues, always one of those is moving. Now you're gonna see the intermission, where all of the statues are going to the middle, from the sides to the middle. Here it's important to just help the healer. This phase, especially in higher levels, can hit a lot. So every heal you can just put out on yourself, just stay alive. Yeah, makes it a lot easier for the healers. Yeah, as well, like you can see, to some CD usages, I would recommend like to use Karma in intermission as well. It's also flat damage that you just do to the boss, so just use it in the intermission. Yeah, what's more to say, you see just the statues are just moving where the arrows are showing, so just make sure to not get hit by those, because they do hit hard, like as well like the Unleashed Offering, the frontal, that you have seen now on the red cone. Second intermission. Again, just go out from the middle, really important, go away from the middle, otherwise it might be that you die. Here, by the way, it would have been better if you just stayed the same position than you were in the first one. I switched on accident on myself. Normally I try to stay in the same position, so it's just my special thing. I think it makes it easier just to stay in the same spot, so, but yeah. Also, by the way, not to forget to mention, it's also really good if you using Rising Sun Kick into your self-healing spells, because after Rising Sun Kick, you know, the next healing spell is for free. You can use it instant instead of casting, so that's also a big gain, especially in the intermission, to just have the healers to stay alive. So yeah, you see bosses nearly on under 10%, no more to say, just 2 intermissions and boss is going to die. So 16 key, we have around 1 minute 30 time left, I think. As mentioned before, we had also 3 deaths on this one. We had kind of good damage, I think. We had a good fist comp. So yeah, damage is not completely to ignore, but it's more important to play the mechanics. So alright, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, as mentioned before, you just can make some notes in the video, on the video link down below. If you have questions, etc., or some recommendations, please let me know. So thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.